Hello and welcome to another episode of Untold Chapters with Austin and Macauley Publishers. Today, our guest, Mike Payne, is an award-winning cartoonist and illustrator and also the creator of the famous charcoal bear with the blue nose that we all know and love, Tatty Teddy. Mike Payne has now written an amazing children's book, Charlie's Ark, beautifully illustrated by himself and Adam Pescott. Stay tuned to find out the story behind the creation of Charlie's Ark and what is yet to come. Mike, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Naeem. I'm very good. Yeah, nice sunny day. It's not raining for a change. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it was raining a little bit this morning, but it seems to come down. Sun's coming out. That's what we like to see.
It is.
I thought we could start with you just explaining a little bit about yourself.
Gosh, where do I start? I spent 26 years in the civil service. Would you believe in the Inland Revenue? And I left to do cartooning because I had an art agent up in Yorkshire and he liked my artwork, which I was doing part-time, and it sort of took over my life. And then before very long, I was poached by a company who wanted me to draw teddy bears for them and other characters. And that ended up being Tatty Teddy. And I drew that for 17 years. So I'm the creator and original artist of Tatty Teddy. Of course, there's a lot more artists now. It's been going for quite a while, but that's how I started. And it wasn't until, I guess, must have been about how many years? Probably about 17 years ago, when my stepdaughter was pregnant and they didn't know whether it was going to be a boy or a girl. And I went to sleep thinking about this. I mean, it didn't prime my mind that much, but I woke up thinking, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a story about this little boy. I'm going to call him Charlie. And I had this phrase going around in my head about how I could write the concept poem. And the funny thing is, my mother, when I was a little boy, she used to say to me, Michael, I knew I was in trouble because it's Mike normally. I mean, we always get this, don't we? You get Michael, I go, oh no, I know I'm in trouble. And she said, Michael, it's better to give than to receive. And I thought, as a kid, don't be daft. I mean, why would I want to give stuff away? I want stuff. Why would I want to do that? And I started writing this poem in my head, never written in rhyme before, never really written, not lots, I've done articles and things, but I wrote, Charlie awoke and sat up in bed and remembered what his mother had said. What she'd said he'd found hard to believe. It's better to give than to receive. He thought hard and long, how could this be? I'm very happy if there's a present for me. Would I feel the same if someday I had to give a present away? Mum knew best. On her he could rely. So he said to himself, I'll give it a try. And that's how the story started and how I started writing in rhyme and started writing Charlie's Ark. And the tail end of this, Naeem, is that in just under 2 months later, my daughter gave birth and my wife and I went up to Red Hill Hospital to see the little baby, not knowing whether it was a boy or a girl. And I said with trepidation, she cuddled the little baby in her arms in bed. I said, is it a boy or a girl? And she said, it's a little boy. Oh. And I said, and have you thought of a name yet? And she said, yes, we're going to call him Charlie. I had done that 2 months earlier.
That's amazing.
How spooky is that?
I love that.
It's a long answer, but that's how it all started.
That's a very, it's weird of how it kind of happened, like the fact that you did that 2 months prior and everything like that. I really do like that. So obviously, while looking through your book, Charlie's Ark, I've literally every day I flick through it. It puts a smile on my face, honestly. Looking at the different characters, I just love it. But there's so many characters. You have Hop the elephant, Patty the monkey, Jess the sheep, and then obviously you're very well known for Tatty's Teddies. So
what made you create the characters inside the book? What was your inspiration for the characters inside Charlie's arc?
My inspiration for the characters, I just thought it would be magical that Charlie had this toy box, which was given to him by his grandmother, who had it made for her when she was a little girl by her carpenter father. And when he was making it, a shaft of light from the early morning window came through and reflected on the blade of a chisel and reflected a spectrum of a rainbow onto the ark. And it gave the ark magic qualities. And she used to play with the animals, as Charlie does now. And as she grew up, she put it in the loft and got on with being an adult and then subsequently a grandmother. And she thought it was time, now that Charlie was of the age, he's around about 5, to give him her precious ark with the secret. And that's how the thing really started. That's what was the inspiration. The animals you ask about, well, Charlie's grandmother had lots of these toy animals. Lots of these toy animals. And I thought, I didn't want to do a teddy bear, mainly because I didn't want another bear in there. I'd gone mad with bears. I want to do every other animal. So I thought I kept on going. And I think I did about 30 different animals. And I gave them all names: Jess the sheep, Putty the monkey. Putty the monkey was done as a plush animal when I very first launched it a long time ago. And I was doing some bits and pieces, and it became incredibly popular. Putty is a lovely little plush animal, and in fact, I think I've got one somewhere here. Maybe you couldn't bring me over Putty, could you? My wife's in the other end of my art studio here. It's right in the front there, sweetheart. There's Putty, right in the front. Thank you, darling. This is Putty. Now, all at that time, it was done in sepia, of course now it's all in colour. But Putty the monkey with his little curly tail and the top knots, the rainbow top knots, manes and tails that all the animals have, distinguish them as being a Charlie's Ark animal. So it's a little bit like the branding is on most things.
That is one thing I love about your book.
All the animals started.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I'm gonna get a picture so we can put that so our audience can see your amazing teddy bear. That is the cutest thing. That is one thing I did love about all your characters throughout the whole book, is they all had that consistent, the little rainbow bows and ribbons on their heads, and just all of them, every single one had them. And every time I was doing it, I was like, this is just amazing. Everything about the book, I've looked at it, I've read it, and I just think it's just amazing. If I had a child, I would get this for my child. I thought it was the cutest thing ever.
Can I just say that some people, I gave the book to my refuse collector there, who is a brilliant team that they have. And the next week he came, he said, my son can't put the book down. He said, it's the must go to story every night. He said, because it's in rhyme, he said, like nursery rhymes, children don't actually make a point of learning nursery rhymes. They remember them because they are in rhyme. And he said, I say the first line of a couplet, and he fills the second line in. He's remembered it. And they want the same stories over and over again. And that is so pleasing to hear as an author, you know, that children bond with it and love it.
I really do like that. And that's what I do like about your book. It just connects with all the children. And I even showed my younger siblings this, and they loved it. I took it home and I showed them.
I'm so pleased. Oh, thank you.
They loved it. They thought it was so cute. They loved the characters. They said, I want a teddy bear of it. I want this. And I was like, all right, I'll see. So where with Charlie's Ark, what is your vision? What do you want it to do in the world?
Well, at the moment, Charlie's Ark is in production to be made into 52 11-minute animated episodes on global children's television.
Brilliant.
We've been at Cannes for about 4 or 5 times now, showing Charlie's Ark to various distributors and people in the business. and it's incredibly exciting. We're starting into all the animation of the characters themselves have been worked on, and we're starting to write scripts for the series now. So yeah,
That's so exciting. Oh, that is really, really exciting. So obviously it's very funny that obviously with your grandson, his name's Charlie, for books, Charlie's art. Did you give any indication that you've made this book to anyone? That I'm just really interested in how that came about.
Oh, I mean, Charlie now is 17, and he's got a fabulous job with BA. He's going into the Charlie that I created in my head, which is amazing. He wasn't always like Charlie in the book, but now he's blossomed into Charlie from the book as a much older version. He's very flattered and a little bit irritated, I think, that I did him from the inspiration of the stories. But the fact is that the book is basically really about children learning. I mean, a lot of children, I guess, these days are thinking one thing: what's in it for me? And the Charlie in the book is actually not thinking about himself, he's thinking about others. And every story has a moral, whether it be about better to give than to receive, about not being afraid of the dark and things like that. There's an awful lot of different things that, you know, comes out in the stories, that and different morals to teach children to think of others rather than themselves. A lot of more giving than receiving.
It has a really precious story, and obviously with all the negative in the world, it's nice to see something so positive come out, especially for the kids of the world now. And it's nice to see that. And that is the reason I was so drawn to your book, is that it has such a positive message throughout the whole book. And it's just amazing, to be honest. There's not really much else to say about it.
That's great.
Thank you so much for your time today, Mike. I hope we can.
My pleasure. It was a great pleasure meeting you, and even although be it on Zoom. But thank you so much for the compliments you pay me. I really appreciate them.
Thank you so much, Mike. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You can listen to Untold Chapters by Austin Macauley Publishers on our website at austinmacauley.com. It is also available on our YouTube page, Austin Macauley Publishers. If you'd like to hear more from us, make sure you like, share and comment on our page. You can also purchase this amazing book, Charlie's Ark, on our Austin Macauley website. Thank you for listening.